Hello and welcome again. If you're watching this video because of the thumbnail, it is that we've come to discuss, can a scientist be an atheist? And of course we're discussing this in the context of IB Biology, as today we move from topic 5.1, where we looked at the fossil record providing evidence for evolution. That of course is a claim that the fossil record provides evidence for evolution. And we're moving from that to look at topic 1.5 because there's a logical transition there. Because topic 1.5 says the first cells must have arisen from non-living material, and it uses evidence from a very famous experiment conducted by Miller and Urey a little less than 100 years ago. Back to our thumbnail. What counts as good justification for a claim? The claim being, of course, that the true scientist cannot be an atheist. This particular question, of course, has connections to faith and religion, agnosticism, and atheism. Because the question arises, can a true scientist dismiss the existence of a God or a creator? And do we in IB Biology have the evidence as students of science to dismiss the existence of a God or a creator? This is what we are going to discuss today. And as we go about discussing it, I want you to first consider the fossil record providing evidence for evolution. And I want you to go research and find out a little bit about this most famous of fossils, Archaeopteryx, the ancient bird. What is Archaeopteryx? Why is it such a famous fossil find? What does it prove? Does it prove that there's no God, that there's no creator, that we must believe in the absence of God and become atheists, as recommended by this famous work by Richard Dawkins, The God Delusion? And as we're doing that, let's start thinking about our ToK presentation and about the three artifacts that we would need to have to address a particular prompt. There are 35 of those prompts, and today I've got 2 of those prompts here. What counts as good justification for a claim? And then another one over here. What role do experts play in influencing our consumption or acquisition of knowledge? And that too is very relevant for today, because the thumbnail is a quote from a famous physicist. And this, of course, is the book that's sold millions and millions of copies around the world and influenced the thinking of so many people who associate scientific thought with atheism. And that's what I want you to reflect on today. Do we have enough evidence from works like The Origin of Species by Charles Darwin, where Darwin spoke about life beginning from simple forms and then undergoing, as he put it, descent with modification, evolution by natural selection? Can the fossil record provide sufficient evidence to dismiss the existence of God? Or do we need something like this? The first cells must have arisen from non-living material, the Miller-Urey experiment. But what we're going to do in today's class is to look at the Miller-Urey experiment so that you can decide for yourselves, does it provide sufficient evidence to make this a valid claim by the IB in topic 1.5? Perhaps this particular understanding in the guide needs to be rewritten, because it seems to be a very definitive statement. And I'm asking you to reflect on the fact that has the IB been influenced by experts like Richard Dawkins and others who dismiss the existence of God? Is there sufficient evidence coming from the Miller-Urey experiment to make the claim that the first cells must have arisen? Not they might have arisen, they must have arisen. And I don't want to give you the answer to that. I would like you to reflect on it and decide, what counts as good justification for a claim? Is the Miller-Urey experiment sufficient evidence to support this claim by the IB in understandings in topic 1.5? And of course, we are going to engage in all of this as we transition from topic 5 of IB Biology to topic 1. But we'll be beginning topic 1 from the reverse, looking first at how the first cells might have emerged on planet Earth. And that emergence, of course, is based on the assumption that there is no God, because from the scientific perspective, there is no evidence whatsoever of a creator. But as we look at the great diversity of life on Earth, it certainly begs the question, did all of this great diversity arise just by natural selection? And even if it did, how did the first living organism come to exist on this planet? And to believe that it might have been because of some external entity or creator is a belief. And of course, beliefs are very much associated with faith and with religion. But there is no evidence to prove the absence of a creator. And given this situation, is it unscientific to be an atheist? Because there's no evidence to prove the existence of a creator or the non-existence of a creator. So the true scientists, as some would argue, must be open. And in being open, of course, the scientist becomes an agnostic, open to all possibilities. Because let's not get confused by the experts. These experts, Charles Darwin, never dismissed the existence of a creator. Then there's another expert who very much uses natural selection and Darwin's ideas to promote atheism. But of course, you have others in the scientific community, like the author of that article cited in the thumbnail, and of course, like this author here, who is a professor at Cambridge University, Asher, who wrote the book Evolution and Belief, Confessions of a Religious Paleontologist. The title itself gives an idea of his perspective. So today we are going to consider all of this, but you will begin today by first of all going and getting me a photo of Archaeopteryx, putting it in your Hangout, then writing a little bit about what is Archaeopteryx and why does it provide evidence for evolution. And then we are going to get together as a group and look at the Miller-Urey experiment, and you would make more comments about this. After that, we would move out of this area of biology and consider some of these outside discussions which are related to theory of knowledge.